So we come to last session of this conference, but here I'll owe some apologies to the panel for defecting from the main copyrights and trademarks theme. I had to speak on IP policy, but due to some rescheduling, I was put in this category of copyrights. So again, we'll be finishing this conference with the technical session on innovation forecasting. This is a new and upcoming field in the field of patent analytics, and I'll spend few minutes on it and try to walk you through some of the new techniques that I found very useful, especially in this era of cross-industry applications. Right, for past 3 days, we have looked into many kinds of IP monetizations and IP strategies which can lead to optimal commercialization of our assets. But somewhere, I think we get so carried away sometimes in attaining an edge over our competitors that we forget that our technology has trickled down from our hands and has got amalgamated into parallel technical domains, which might not necessarily be of direct concern to us, but some way it has led to a knowledge spillover. And we all know that whenever a spillover happens, somebody benefits from it. So why not we be the ones to benefit from any spillover that has occurred as a direct consequence of our technology? Now you might question me that is knowledge dissemination not the entire ultimate objective of this entire IP system? But I think that if we are aware of fluid prospects of our technology, we can go one step ahead and plan our commercialization strategies accordingly. Now these statements would have sounded very absurd few years back when we were living in an era of technologies which were focused in one sector. For example, telecommunication had nothing to do with parallel sectors of life sciences. Or let's say physics had very little to do with parallel sectors of chemistry. But these days when we are more focused on research in material sciences, microprocessors, electromechanical systems, we find that the technology distinction that once existed is no longer very important. This is which leads to knowledge spillovers. I'll tell you a very interesting observation that I came across few days back. Rice is a grain we all are familiar with. When rice is processed, husk is thrown away. This husk seems to be highly rich in silica. Now, if silicon extracting companies or semiconductor companies or let's say photovoltaic companies are made aware of this opportunity, then rice, not only will we be adding a lot of value to rice, but these industries will also get a cheap and potentially free source of raw material. Now, but then question will arise that in these prospects, we can come to umpteenth number of such conclusions, and consider them as white spaces for our research. But what is the evidence that it will not eventually turn out to be a black hole and it will be a commercially viable opportunity? It is here that these externality analysis and these knowledge spillover analysis come into play. Now we all can very well comprehend that in an industrial or in a corporate setup, spillovers take place within the same technical domains, which we generally refer to as the vertical ones, and spillovers take place in parallel technical domains, which we refer to as the horizontal ones. Now both of these are very different in their nature, and therefore we'll very quickly look at one example of comprehending each of them. Coming on to the vertical aspect, but before coming on to the technical stuff, I found that patent citations are a very good indicators of these externalities. You must have heard of many experts saying that when knowledge flows, no trail, it does not leave a paper trail behind. But patent citations have been proven to be the only exception of this rule, and if forward and lateral citations of a patent portfolio are analyzed, in a couple of generations ahead, we start seeing a shift. And if assignees of these citations are analyzed, then we come on to the actual trails of knowledge that from where our technology started and now where it has ended up on. This the circle chart that we see over here is a very good indicator of how these knowledge trails help us. This chart indicates top assignees of a technical domain and how each of the assignee has been playing with others' technology, and different color schemes are respectively illustrate over here how one technology from one assignee flowed and got amalgamated in different ways in other assignees. Now, how this is possible is that knowledge is a partially excludable commodity. We all agree to that. However watertight we draft our patents, however tight measures we take in protecting our IP, we cannot completely exclude it. And this lack of excludability renders possible even these renders these externalities even possible. And this very fact only keeps measuring these externalities very difficult. But when we use patent citations, then this is possible to a great extent. Now, when we come on to a horizontal externality, which is a spillover happening in parallel technical domain, we find that in forward generations, in forward citations of many generations, a technical shift occurs. For example, when I start with an automotive technology, 5 generations down the line, when I see at those citations, they are no longer belonging to automation technology, they are belonging to agriculture sector. Now, there are umpteenth number of inferences I can draw from them, but one inference that I draw is that somewhere down the line something happened which increased prospects of automotive technologies into agricultural sectors. Now, by these statements, I do not mean that one should leave focus of our main technology for which, or our main problem for which that technology was originally created. But if we want to optimally commercialize it, then we should also look for cross-industry prospects and broaden our horizons. It is with these thoughts that I finish my presentation on this topic.